Hi everyone, it's me, Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. Welcome back to the channel. For this episode, I'm going to talk to you about why abusers and narcissistic people dislike people with boundaries. Okay, why does a narcissist care if you have a boundary or not? Why does a psychopath run away or abandon people who have boundaries? The reason is because it is impossible to abuse someone who has boundaries. It's impossible to abuse someone who knows their rights. It's impossible to abuse someone who's not codependent and who knows what mental, psychological processes belong to them and what belongs to the abuser. So what will happen whenever you encounter a narcissist and you begin to get healthier and healthier and healthier, as I have in my journey, I've been getting healthier and healthier, and I still encounter narcissists. However, they don't like me very much. I'm not a good target anymore. I'm not very fun to play with. You can't get a lot off of me today if you are a narcissist. The reason is because I have good, solid boundaries. And what a narcissist will do is will test your boundaries and bust your boundaries, which means to try to get past what you've set forth as your identity, as your line in the sand. They will try to get past that boundary in order to abuse you and take advantage of you the way that they want to do. So one of the ways to know that you're with an abusive person who has plans for you that are not really good, plans to use you as narcissistic supply, plans to exploit you, plans to blame you for their problems, plans to treat you like crap and enjoy it, sadistic plans for you. You know this whenever someone begins pressing your boundaries, which whenever I say pressing your boundaries, I mean pushing beyond them. Like let's say you do not want a glass of wine. Another glass of wine. And then that person will say, yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Just get a glass of wine. Here, I'll get one for you anyway. It can be something that simple, or it can be something if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with someone and you tell your boyfriend that you don't like to spend time with such and such person. And if that person tries to force you to spend time with someone that you've already let them know you do not want to spend time with and you've set a boundary, then that means that that person is trying to bust your boundaries. If you've asked somebody to stop calling you a specific name, to stop talking badly or making comments about your fingernails, it doesn't matter how minor. Abusers will start on small items, and it's kind of like a test to see if you'll take their shit. And if you take their shit, the next test will be worse and worse and worse until you're enduring outright abuse. So narcissists and psychopaths and people like that are not interested in people that have boundaries. If you have good, strong boundaries that you're able to maintain and you know that you love yourself enough to walk away anytime you're treated without respect, anytime you're disrespected, anytime you're abused, anytime your boundaries are violated on purpose, even after you've let someone know kindly that that's something you are not interested in. If somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, then you have a good idea that you're dealing with someone who is disordered, because a normal, healthy person is going to respect your boundaries. Respect your boundaries. I mean, it's human nature to be empathetic. If somebody doesn't want any more wine, then you don't give them wine. And if the person can't respect that wish, then it's a little red flag. It's not necessarily, a pin the tail on the donkey where you've actually got a narcissist. But you just want to watch out for things like that, because narcissists cannot stand boundaries. If you have boundaries, then you're going to be able to catch their abuse. A narcissist, an abusive person, can only abuse someone without boundaries. Because if that person realized their own rights, then they would stop the narcissist in their tracks. Believe me, the narcissist knows what your rights are, and he or she is looking for someone who doesn't know what their rights are, because that's the only person they're going to be able to get into, they're going to be able to get their hooks into and begin to abuse and begin to extract their narcissistic supply. A narcissist doesn't like boundaries. Boundaries mean that you know who you are. Boundaries mean that you're not going to let a third party, another person, come in to your heart and tell you what to do and tell you how you feel and tell you what you should do. Someone who feels overly responsible for other people, someone who is a people pleaser, who just doesn't understand that they have rights to certain requests. You have so many rights that are yours. You've got to understand what those rights are. Someone who understands their rights is going to be no match for the narcissist, is going to kick a narcissist's butt. I was watching my nephew's softball game, and they are an undefeated team, and they just won the championship for the city, and it's so exciting, and I'm so happy for him. But the point I'm making is they shut everybody down. Anybody that tried to score a point on them, they shut them down. They caught that ball before the guy got to the base. They hit the ball, and they hit it out of the park. You could not get one past this team. This team kept scoring points and scoring points, but no points could be scored on it. Well, this is what we have to be with our boundaries. We have to have good, solid boundaries. If you're all caught up in blaming yourself and making excuses and feeling guilt and feeling obligated and feeling afraid to stand up for yourself and not knowing your rights, then you're going to be a team that never wins a game. You're going to be a person who gets your ass kicked. You're going to be a person who is easily defeated. And that's the kind of person that narcissists eat alive. They suck your blood, they bite your neck, then they suck the blood out of you, and you are left with nothing. What you want to be is somebody with strong boundaries. You want to understand that this is a social environment, and that people need to respect your wishes, respect who you are. You can tell pretty easily early on whether someone is a respectful person or not, right whenever you meet them right away. Some people will start trying to push boundaries, see how far they can go with the first text, like if you're in the dating scene. They'll push boundaries on the first text. There's other people that are very, very savvy. They don't necessarily break your boundaries on the first text, but they do it subtly in little ways that you don't even notice until after they've already gotten to a place where they're able to abuse you. You've got to be prepared to withstand boundary violations and people trying to get past your knowledge of who you are and your knowledge of your rights everywhere. You've got to be able to block punches, okay? Because that's what it's like. And once you're able to block all the punches, once you're able to shut down the narcissist, psychopath, or other abusive, manipulative person, then your self-esteem is going to grow. And as your self-esteem grows, your vibration, your energetic vibration will rise. And as your energetic vibration rises, you will begin to attract people that are more respectful to you instead of people who are trying to bust your boundaries all the time. And that's another video, and we're going to be discussing that. I think I'm going to do it next. But anyway, I just want you to know that narcissists do not like boundaries because boundaries are a barrier to them getting in to your heart and damaging you and taking from you and exploiting you. So anytime you have someone that is busting your boundaries and trying to get you to hang out with people you don't want to hang out with, who's trying to say whatever you're doing is not what you should be doing, someone who's trying to tell you what to do or trying to push on your boundaries, then you know you're dealing with someone who potentially may have a disorder and who may have sinister plans for you, sadistic plans to take advantage of you and exploit you in the future. You want to hang around people that respect your boundaries. You, first of all, have to respect your boundaries. You need to know what your values are, what your ethics are, what is important to you, and what you want. And you've got to be in touch and in tune with your own feelings so that whenever you feel as if your boundaries have been violated, you can know in your heart and you can trust your heart and you can trust yourself and begin to say, whoa, wait a minute, this is not going to work. That I don't want this. And then you can set a boundary and you can find out if a healthy person respects boundaries. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. That's cool. And you need to be healthy too and respect other people's boundaries. That's just healthy. Sometimes codependent people or people coming out of codependency have a tendency to override other people's boundaries just because that's how they've been taught. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are out to abuse others and sadistically harm and abuse other people and get by with a lot of bad stuff. It just means they need to learn how to respect other people's boundaries. Once you learn to self-respect, respect yourself and have your own boundaries, then it becomes very easy to automatically respect other people's boundaries. So that's enough for this video today. Narcissists do not like boundaries. And that's because the only way that they can get in and abuse you is if you don't have any boundaries. If you have boundaries, you are like an undefeated team. They can't get a point across, and they can't get what they want. And they'll get frustrated and go on to the next easy target. Don't be an easy target for a narcissist. Set boundaries, know who you are, and defend your humanity. This is Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me comments. I love them. They mean a lot to me. Share this with someone who needs it, and like it and subscribe to my channel. I will talk to you soon.